And we are live. Good to see everybody this morning. I am so happy to be here once again. Another morning, December 9th, I think, somewhere around there. Almost the end of the year. Gearing up towards the end of the year. We're gearing up to not only finish strong, but finish big. For some of you, have truly thrived in 2020, including myself. Um, I have expanded. I've expanded during this time. Um, this is going to be an exciting video. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you one simple strategy on how you out there, whether you have no money, whether you lost your job, work for the government, sitting at home, watching Netflix, how anybody could take advantage of the biggest wealth transfer in history. In history, bigger than 1929. So you want to stick around for that. I'm going to actually show you strategies on how you can do that. Before we get started, I want to make sure that if you're just joining me on here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to get notified the next time I'm doing a video. What are the kids saying these days? Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. Hey, even smash the dislike button. I don't care. Just connect with me, interact with me. Don't be afraid to comment down below. If you're just joining us, I see a few of you are on this live right now. Just comment down below. I'd like to know who you are and where you're coming from. It's a beautiful morning. Hey, Isabel. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Again, so this live is going to be about the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of all mankind, which is coming our way. And so make sure to stay tuned for the entire thing, because I'm going to go through a few different strategies that you can apply in your life right now. Whether you already have money, whether you have no money, no credit, bankruptcy, it really doesn't matter, because everybody's pretty much in the same playing field, and the same wind blows on us all. And so that's the beautiful thing about COVID. We're all playing in the same game now. Everybody's, some people have to start over. A lot of people are starting over. Guess what? If you're just getting started, this is the best time to do so. So get your coffees. Oh, don't you love? Comment in the comment section if you love, that first sip of coffee in the morning. I also got my water, and you know how I feel about water. Gotta hydrate. All right, guys. So, this is what I will say. We are living under very unusual situation with COVID-19. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to be the end result. Yes, Isabel, for sure. She loves coffee. Thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, I see a few of you here. Just comment down below. Tell us where you're coming from. Where are you joining us from? Would love to know. Also, if you want me to talk about anything in specific in the future, comment down below. I do go and read all the comments, so that would be very much appreciated. Like this video or dislike this video, that's fine. So when this all started back in March 13th, I knew from the very beginning life would never be the same again, right? And so I talked about how to cope. Back in March, I did a video about the things that you are going to do in order to be ready for the opportunities that are going to be coming our way. So this video back in March talked about life will never be the same again, and the biggest step that you could do is stand in your truth and accept that the life as we knew it was over, and what you had to do is start moving quickly towards expansion, because you can't expand and contract at the same time. So back in March, actually, some people, wrote me privately, and they talked about Alfonso, you're too quick to jump, to say to share with people that we're not going to go back to the same. There's reports out there that we might, everything is going to be back to normal by spring, summer. And back in March, I knew that that wasn't going to be the case. I knew that this was this is not like Ebola. This is not like swine flu. This was serious business. Maybe we can probably we could probably sit here and discuss on how the governments of the world are handled this situation, but at the end of the day, that's nothing that we have control over. We don't have control about how other people operate and what the decisions that they make. What we have control over is the decisions that we make. And so, what I did back in March, I made a decision that I wasn't going to wait around for government officials to tell me it was okay to start growing my business and start expanding and start doing the things that I had to do. Now I was limited in the things that I could do, but I did them. I did them. I used technology. I jumped on here on YouTube. Thank God. Imagine right now we're getting to know each other. All these new subscribers to my channel. I've only been really actively on here since March, and the amount of feedback and people have wrote to me directly, and they said, Alfonso, thank you, thank you. And so part of that strategy was to accept that the world will never be the same. Number two, start building those relationships. Thank you for those likes. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And you're gonna start building those relationships with people. Start gathering. Start moving. Start expanding. And lastly, get ready. Get yourself ready, because there's massive opportunities that are coming your way. And that was back in March, and the opportunities are here more than ever and ever and ever. Now, where does the inspiration for this video come from? Well, yesterday I got a little note from one of our friends, one of our viewers. Hopefully you're watching this, and by the way, if you want to send me a private email or a private direct message and just tell me, just ask me for whatever it is that you want to talk about here on these lives, I'm willing to do so. I'll do a video on it. I don't mind. But the question was like, Alfonso, lost my job. I don't have any credit. I don't have any money. I'm stuck. What can I do? What are the things that I could do? You talk about these big opportunities coming our way, but I don't see them. So first of all, thank you for that message, and I definitely understand and I can empathize with how difficult it must be to be in a situation where you feel overwhelmed, right? You don't know, you're stuck. Maybe you don't have these skills. You don't have tech skills, and but you know what? All these things can be learned, right? We're living during an age you can pretty much search on Google anything you want to do. There's probably a tutorial here to do it. But what's coming our way is the biggest wealth transfer that we've ever seen in the history of mankind. And so how can you be on the receiving end of this wealth transfer? For years and years and years, people have had control, people have ran businesses, real estate. I mean, we're talking about massive wealth that is out there, and it didn't disappear. This wealth did not disappear. It's everything is still out there. Now, I'm a big promoter and believer in the power of real estate. Okay, so and we can talk about some of those strategies in a later video. What I want to talk about is business, right? And business and real estate go hand in hand. If you're going to separate the 4% versus the 96%, 4% being the wealthiest people in the world versus the 96%, which is everybody else. 4% of the population in the world owns 96% of the wealth, and 96% of the people own 4% of the wealth. And so this is a big divide, and I think it's the combination of business and real estate, which gives the 4% an unfair advantage over the 96%. Now, if you're smart, you are going to be able to take advantage of all the opportunities that are coming our way. Now, what's coming our way? There's going to be a vaccine. We know that at some point we're going to get to some level of normality. That is for sure. That's one thing I could tell you for sure. We will get back to some form of normality where we can live our day-to-day lives. What that's going to look like, I don't know, because human behavior is changing in this past 2 years. We have been forced to change, and I want you to keep that in mind. So, how are you going to capture? And then we can talk about real estate in a future video. And what I'm going to teach you right now is how to build $1 million company without having to put a single cent out of your pocket. And how are we going to do that? And so I want to go through that. We'll talk about real estate, because once you build your $1 million company, you can now make it into 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and you can go and buy real estate. Obviously, you want to be able to first you want to learn how to make money, so you need to make money, and then you want to make sure you can deploy that money that comes in into income performing assets, right? Income producing assets. And so for me, that's real estate. For you, you have to do your own study on that. And if you stick around here long enough, I definitely can talk about real estate and how powerful that has been for me. So we want to talk about business. And so the gentleman that sent me that really nice direct message, private message, was kind of alluding to the fact that he didn't have any money. And he was not able to start a new business. As you know, there's certain upfront costs to starting a new business, and it's going to take a long time for you to recoup those costs. So what do? What if you don't have any credit? What if what if you don't have the ability to put money out right now? Since we're all under this situation, we're all kind of strapped. We had to make shifts and pivot in our businesses, and so what are we going to do? So this is for you. If you want to take advantage of the biggest wealth transfer in the world, this is for you. Whether you have an existing business, whether you have an existing business, whether you have no business, whether you have a job and you're thinking of making that move into a business, this video is for you, and I'm going to help you to capture the wealth that is going to be transferred. So you can be on the receiving end of the biggest wealth transfer in the world. Think about that for just a moment. The last biggest wealth transfer was in 1929 during the Great Depression. And during the Great Depression, you have some of the biggest companies of our lifetime were created during that Great Depression. Every single recession since then, every single market correction since then has created really great, amazing companies that are still around today. And so some of the greatest companies were created during recessions, depressions, corrections. And so this is not any different. In fact, this is now incredible, because you have industries that are completely changing. And so what I want you to do first is go out there and get educated on building businesses, acquisitions, how to manage businesses, and maybe, surround yourself around the right people, so now you can organize yourselves and move forward in a really powerful way. And you don't wait till 2021. Start right now. Start right now, gathering all the pieces that you need. Now, what I want to talk about today, and there's many ways and many different strategies, and I'm going to talk about every single strategy during future videos. But what I want to talk about today is growing through acquisition, growing through buying other companies. A few months ago, I'm watching all these airlines just tank, just go to zero. like, I mean, these airlines, they have to park their entire fleets. And I'm just watching all these airlines and I'm thinking to myself, one of these airlines is going to buy out all the other airlines. I mean, we have, and really I don't know, but out of all the airlines that we have, I'm sure that 80% of those airlines are going to be gone out of the business. Well, now, where are those customers going to go? They're going to go to the ones that are left. And so if you had a crystal ball and you know who is the one that's going to swallow everybody else, and if you can make a bet on that, I mean, like at the casino, then I mean, you're going to be in really good shape in the next 5 years. So the same way as one conglomerate can swallow everybody else. This is acquisition. And so this is the perfect way for you to grow through acquisition, right? But Alfonso, where are you going to get the money? We're living in a time right now in history. We're going to timestamp it, December the 9th, 2020, where money is irrelevant because people cannot hold on anymore, and that's unfortunate. And if there's like a mom and pop team out there that is really like struggling, they're over their limit on all their lines of credit, and so for them it's extremely difficult to grow. So think about this for a moment. Growing through acquisition. Now, we're not talking about taking advantage of people. You're actually going to be in a position where you can help someone out there, relieve them, right? Think about this, because you think about, why wouldn't they just do the same thing? Number one, they're not watching this video. Number two, when someone's holding a door of debt, payroll, lines of credit, mortgages. I mean, you're holding that door closed. You don't want, your whole focus is to make sure that you can survive. You don't have the time to look around and see what's going on and all the opportunities around you, right? So you can actually be in a position to help someone in need. And so the way we're going to grow through acquisition is simply going to be through seller finance type of deals, vendor take back type of deals, where the seller needs to relieve themselves. Well, I don't want to say that, but the seller needs to, they need to be released from this responsibility, and they're willing to give up their business, give up the one thing that they've built their entire life to someone that now can take over with new ideas, technology, and just enter and crush it into the new world. And so, and by the way, this is just one way of growing. If you have a company out there, think about growing through acquisitions. So if you are selling, if you're selling phones online, well, think about how you can scoop up other companies that are selling phones online. Figure out how you can, make a deal with someone that's selling, for example, laptops online, and start scooping up because look, what I like about it is you already have you create one infrastructure. And so let me get into that. Let me get the board here. And we're going to be doing future videos on that. We'll be doing future videos on that, on how to, by the way, if you're liking this right now, I want you to comment. I want you to tell me what are you feeling about this. I see there's a few of you on here in this live, so thank you so much. I want you to comment. What do you think about growing through acquisition, right? What do you think about growing through acquisition? So here's a few things, okay? You want to, first of all, here's the three things that you need in order to have a really exceptional company. So first of all, you need a process, right? Process or a system, right? You need a process or system, and you can build that. You can get together, the things that you're missing in your life, look for those skill sets in the people around you. So if you're technologically challenged, look for people that have those skill sets. If you need accounting and numbers, find those people. So and you look around the people around you, you could say, okay, we're going to form a company, and you're going to be the high tech person. You're going to be the accounting. You're going to be operations. You're going to be the CEO. Whatever, however you want to organize it. And so you can get together, or you can just be one person and hire these people out. But again, if you're starting with no money, you want to make sure you can organize the idea and go out there and execute, and at a very low cost. So you need process or system. You need a product, okay, product or service, okay, product or service, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. And you're going to need people. At the end of the day, a company is simply a collection of people. And so the company is only going to be as good as the people. So get around with like-minded people, smart people, probably people that are smarter than you. That would be the best. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to get around people that you get along with, like-minded, positive, and that are extremely smart. Together, you form an organization. Let's call it YouTube Live Incorporated. Okay, so because you watched my live here this morning, you formed an organization, YouTube Live Incorporated, and I'm just really playing with the name here, but you guys can figure out what you want to call yourselves. But you don't have a process, you don't have a system. You might have organized yourself with the right people, and everybody now. You guys have your first meeting, and you say, what are we going to do? We're going to go through acquisition. Now you got to think about a product and service. So if you're going to go through, you're going to go through businesses. I want you guys to go on Google and type in businesses for sale in my city, businesses for sale in my country, or in North America. Whatever you want to type in on Google, you'll see that there is an abundance of businesses for sale right now, and all you got to do is, and by the way, those people are in trouble. You could be in a position where you have technology. You can add technology to the business to help it expand, and those people can be released from that responsibility. So this is the only thing that I would say. If you're going to go out and buy a few different companies with seller financing, and everything is going to be secured against the company, right? Then the assets of the company. And so basically, you've started this company, you got together with your friends, and you've started this company, and your mission now is going to go out there to execute. But I have no money, I have no credit. It doesn't matter. If you have idea, if you have a good system, right? So you got an accountant, you got an operations, you got a tech person, and now you just launch. And the idea is you're going to grow through acquisitions. And so you go online, you look at multiple businesses, and you want to choose at least a business that you have some sort of skill set in or an interest in. You don't want to choose something that is completely outside of your realm of understanding. You want to make sure you look at things that you could understand, and you see where the clients are going to come from. And here's what's important. What type of business is going to thrive in the new world? What types of businesses are going to thrive, and what businesses can be converted to having an online presence where you can capture sales and business through online? And so here we go. So you buy business, you find your first business, okay? I'm not going to talk about the product and service because that could be anything. You got your people, and you've developed a system of how you're going to invoice, how the product is going to be delivered, or what have you, okay? And so you got business number one, and you look at the business, the revenue of business number one is $250,000, right? So this is a really, 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 really small business. And so you'd be surprised. It's extremely difficult to sell a business that only makes $250,000. If you think about it, by the time you have profit and by the time you pay all your expenses, there's really not that much left at the end of the day to be able to pay the owner or your staff. And so what you're going to do is, because you're going to have a bigger vision. And so remember, you're going to buy several different businesses. So this is business number one, okay? And again, you're probably getting confused at this point. I'm going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to say, remember what I said, seller finance. You're going to find motivated sellers that need to sell right now, and this has never been the best time to do this type of strategy, because you have people in serious trouble that can no longer hang on. And if you're in a position where you can go in there and actually negotiate and prove yourself, you can actually buy a business through seller financing, a vendor take back. And so that means the seller is going to finance you, so it's $250,000. And so now the seller says, I will loan you the $250,000 and you take over the property, you release me of this responsibility, and you have to pay me this $250,000 in installments. Okay? So now they become your bank. And so now you go after business number two. Business number two, let's call it $250,000, okay? This is business number two. Now, my pen is not working very well. I mean, hopefully this works. This is not, I gotta get a new marker. But anyways, this is garbage. So business number two, hopefully you can read that. So we got 250. Business number two, again, seller finance. So you haven't put any money now, but now your company's grown to $500,000. Then you go use the same strategy, buy business number three, $250,000. Business number three, $250,000. Here's the key to doing this. You want to make sure that all of the companies that you're acquiring under your main company are symbiotic in some way, that they have to do with one another, because now this same team, these people, you can leverage to run multiple different aspects of your company. And so if you have administration, you have accounts receivable, accounts payable, operations, the same team can manage all of the companies, as long as they're symbiotic, as long as they are somehow connected. And so let's go to business number four. And business number four, $250,000. Business number four. Now, and I'm talking specifically about revenue. So each company is, and we can talk in future videos about how to evaluate companies. Right now, we're saying these companies are bringing in $250,000 a year in income, and we're buying them for exactly what the income. And so there are many ways of evaluating companies. You can go triple times net. I mean, we can get into a lot of, and maybe a lot of these companies, maybe some of them were 100,000, maybe some of them were, maybe some of them were 80,000. Who knows? Who knows what the value of the companies were? But what I want to specifically highlight here is the income the business is providing. And so in this case, you're buying four different companies that are bringing in income of $250,000 a piece, which are very small businesses. But altogether, you're bringing in, this is $1 million in revenue. So congratulations, you have now started a company. Through acquisition, you have grown your company to $1 million in revenue. And if you're doing this right, and you can achieve a 25% overall profit margin on your business, that's a profit of $250,000. Now, step number two is grow the income through new strategies, new ways of delivering the product or service, new ideas, innovation, technology. And so if you can now increase your because you have a good process, a good products or service, and good people, if you can double your results, now this $1 million company turns into a $2 million company that is producing, let's say, $500,000 in profit that you guys now can go and split between you and your shareholders. That's it, my friends. I mean, as simple as that sounds, some of you guys are wondering, what am I going to do in the, hey, I see a lot of people are on here. Thank you so much. If you love this, if you love this strategy, I want you to comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if this makes sense to you. But this is exactly how one of the airlines is going to grow in the next 5 years. They're simply going to go and swallow up all these little airlines that simply just cannot survive. You can be in that position to do that, and that, to me, that it's like it's like mind blasting, right? Like, it's like, wow, anybody can do this. Anybody can grow through acquisition. This is a simple strategy. Just add another zero. That's $20 million, right? I mean, you can grow 100, 200 million, 300 million, 500 million, $1 billion company without putting a cent out of your pocket. It sounds simple. You have to do your research. You got to get the right people. You have to choose the right if this brings you value, share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with people around you. Share it on your social media platforms. This is why I do this. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified the next time I'm doing a video. Comment down below. Comment down below. Give me an idea of a video that I could be doing in the future. What do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about real estate? Do you want to hear about do you want to hear about more about acquisitions? Do you want to hear about starting a business? Where would you find the funding for business? Seller finance? What do you want to hear about? I'm going to look through all the comments, read every single comment, and I'm going to be doing video, making those subject matters for future videos. You guys have been amazing this morning, and if you stuck around for the entire 35 minutes, thank you. I am so appreciative of you. I'm grateful for you. I see a lot of people on this live right now. Comment down below. Where are you joining us from? And if you're watching this in the future, you know what? Tell us. We're in the future, but this is what we're doing. This is time-stamped, so we'll see what's going to happen. I believe that the greatest wealth transfer in history is coming our way, not just in business, but also in real estate. So, if you are in a position where you're starting, you already are ahead, it doesn't really matter. This next 2021 could be your year. Could be the year that you not only 10x your results, but you 20, 30x your results, because the biggest wealth transfer in history is coming our way. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, hey, like, dislike, whatever you want to do, comment in the comments. Share this video with your friends. You guys have been amazing this morning. Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you all at the top.